Welcome back to the Running Point Podcast with Braden Smith, a.k.a. the Big Ten's all-time leading assists holder. Braden, congratulations. You got the ball behind you right now. How's it feel to have crossed the threshold and be number one all-time?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, feels great, and it's something that as a player I've always wanted to do and accomplish with being a point guard, and I think that's very important for point guards to do, and just feel like that was my job. So obviously, it's awesome finally getting there, and felt like it took forever, especially that game, but it is what it is, and glad that it's finally over with and get to focus up a little bit more. So.
So obviously, coming into it, you talked about leading up to it. It doesn't mean much. It's your job. I'm gonna go ahead and list all the Braden Smith, insert comment here. It's your job. It's what you're supposed to do. You got great teammates. I get all that. But when it actually happened in the moment, though, did you feel the severity of it, I guess? Did you feel the accomplishment part of it just in that moment?
I mean, yeah, definitely on the court when it happened. I mean, there was a couple other things going on at that time when it happened, but yeah, it definitely had a little switch of a feeling right then and there. And then I think the rest of that 8 minutes of that second half, I just was nowhere to be found on the court. So I was just because we were up 30 or 25 at that point, so I thought he was getting ready to take me out, and then I was just always looking over if he's going to take me out, and it just never happened. And then we let them come back in and kind of make it more of a game. But yeah, no, I did feel a little bit of a change though once it happened.
All right, so we have a huge episode planned. We're going to try our best to keep this within an hour. We'll go through the Wisconsin game, the moment of setting the record, the post game, all of it. We also are going to talk Washington, another good dub. You guys are 4-0 in Big Ten play for first time in quite a while, first time in your career at Purdue. So that's awesome, obviously. And even have some kind of in general Big Ten questions for you and questions from Twitter followers at the end. But I think let's start with the moment. And you just alluded to it. You said some things were going on when you actually got the assist to Oscar to set the record. In the post game, you said, I can't wait to talk on the pod about this. And to anyone watching this at home, it just appeared like you had some words for fans immediately after this happened. So, what exactly was going on at that point in the game when you set the assist record?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think this will kind of get into a lot of different, I don't know. It'll just unpack a lot of stuff, but I think for me, the entire second half, first half obviously because we weren't taking the ball out down there, but the entire second half, every time I took the ball out at that baseline, I just kept hearing something from that back right side, and normally it is what it is. Obviously you're gonna get trash talk and all that, so that's normal. So I let it go for a little bit, and then I look back and again, this is either I don't know who said it. So I really don't even know if the people I was talking shit to was actually the right people. But it just seemed like that was the correct crew of where I heard the sound and where I thought it was coming from. And it was a bunch of older men. I would say probably 40s and above, and
Huh.
a couple people older than that, like 60s. So if it wasn't them, I do apologize because the student section is behind them. So I owe that to you guys. That is my apology. But if it was you, then everything I said is directed towards you, and I meant it. But no, it's just playful competitiveness, and obviously fans cheering for one team and me playing for the other. So I mean, I'm not gonna get into exactly what I was saying, but
I think we can read your lips respectfully. I think Big Ten Network may have handled exactly what your side of that was. What did this alleged 40 to 60-year-old man, what were they saying? What got under your skin a little bit?
it wasn't even really that they got under my skin. I think it was more just one, I accomplished that. So it was all right, well now I got the bragging rights. And then literally right after that possession, we were running on the court, they started chanting my name, the whole arena was like a home game in a sense. So then I was like, okay, well first off, it was just little jabs. Oh, you're too small, you're not good, you suck, you're this. And I'm like, okay, well, first off, your whole stadium is chanting my name and I'm the away team.
That's,
I
I
said,
mean,
so if you're saying that, you just sound stupid. I was like, that's just a dumb comment to make because how are you gonna say that I suck and I'm all this, but you're cheering for me, or at least your crowd is. Like it
Yeah.
just doesn't make sense. Like I'm getting chance in your place, but that's just like that's the main thing I was trying to talk to them about and try to say to them. But it I don't know. I think it's just being competitive and that's just how I am. But
Well, you just confirmed that it was the people who are 40 to 60 years old, because only people 40 to 60 years old would hit you with the, oh, you're too small, oh, you suck, oh, you're not good. I feel like students would come up with something maybe a little bit better to cut a little bit
something
deeper
better.
than
Yeah.
the classic, you're small, you're not good. Like you haven't heard that one about a million times before. Classic, classic stuff there. I want to dive into the actual play portion of it though. Obviously, as I was watching it, I'm like, you know what? Who's gonna get it? Is it gonna be Fletch? Is it gonna be this? Is it gonna be that? It ends up being a drive through the Clough and one, which shout out to Oscar for letting it be an and one. Shout out to the ref for calling it an and one because that moment actually needed a little bit more of that. Take us through the actual play where you do get the assist.
Yeah, no, I mean I think it was kind of forced. The past like four possessions before that, I think I was just trying to get it just to get it over with. Because I felt like there was just a lid on the rim right towards the end and that kind of stuff. But no, I mean it's just me making reads and plays and I got past one of the defenders, and then obviously the big man comes over to help the jump. And I mean, I think I've made that play for my last 4 years, so I mean, it's not anything that's different. And obviously, Clough was there, and he saw it and caught it and got the end one. So
So you were aware of being one assist away. Was this a normal feeling for you? Obviously, it's a special night and you know there's like a threshold to cross. Were you aware all game of where you were at? And like you said, you were kind of chasing it play to play. I feel like we could see that through the screen a little bit even.
yeah, no, I definitely know, and like a lot of people ask, like, oh, do you know you were close to a triple? Yeah, I know all that. Like there's a giant board up there that has all of our stats and everything. I look and see, so like I have a general idea, and obviously I have teammates and people telling me. So yeah, I definitely have an idea.
Was there anybody, if people are talking to you, it's kind of like a pitcher with a no-hitter, right? I could assume like maybe we stay away, let him do his thing. Was there anybody who said something to you? Oh, you're on the verge, one assist away. Who's like the last person, either on staff or on the team, who said something to you about being close to the record?
Well, I was actually on Foreman because I like to give Foreman crap because I was like, dude, like you didn't give me the last two. Like the one that Fletch caught in the corner and then ripped drive and shot like the layup. He took one dribble and like shot like the contested layup. I'm like, that's an assist. That wasn't on there. I was like, Foreman, there's one. And then right after I threw the behind the back to JB to Jack and he shot fake and did a one dribble floater from damn near the 3-point line. That's an assist. So I was like, okay, well that's 8 and 9. I
Also,
said,
JB hasn't missed in a month. Just let it fly, my
I
brother. You
know.
don't need a dribble at that point.
I
Crazy.
know. That's what I was trying to say. So I was on Foreman really, and then at that point, like no one said anything because I knew at that point because I was counting from halftime on. Really, I was like, okay, like I need five more. Okay, four more. All right, three. Okay, Foreman screwed me on 8 and 9. Okay, and then here we go. I need one. So I was saying something to him though, so I knew obviously it was 8 and 9, so I just knew I needed one more, and I knew it myself. But
The way Foreman fuels you is hilarious. I just got to say that. The
I love.
SID, the man behind, is just always just adding fuel to Braden Smith, which is hilarious. And justice for JB. All right. He sees TKR throw up floaters from everywhere on the court. It's his time. All right. He can't just shoot
100%.
threes all the time.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about the Wisconsin game just in general. Back and forth first half. Felt like it was going to be a dogfight for a while. I mean, they had a lot of energy right away. I mean, I noticed that like Nick Boyd was picking you up the minute that you even, the ball went through the hoop. They were trying to get the crowd involved into it. What did it feel like in that game early on? And, they played pretty well out of the gates. What did you guys do to kind of create that separation after they kind of came out ready to play?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously credit to them, and we knew going into there that they're obviously a good team, and that we have history playing against them, and always it being a dogfight or being a close game. So we knew that going into it, and we understand, especially with our experience that we have on our team, how to close out a basketball game and what's needed for the start of a second half and how important that is. And I thought we did a good job responding then, and then obviously like. Yeah, like credit to Boyd, he played unbelievable. But like I know like when people are just like there for the moment, because like when you get all gassed up and then like three possessions later, you're back there like huffing and puffing because you're exhausted.
Mm.
Like no offense to anybody, but like I'm probably like one of the best in shape, and I could run around for the entire game and be fine. So like you can pressure me for 3 or 4 times, but I know that won't last for the entire game. Like water eventually, what is that, levels? Is that the saying? So like for me, it's like okay, like yeah, get your energy out now because at the end of the day, like I'm gonna have the more energy at the end of this game because I've been in enough games like this and it's not even him. It's literally just everybody. Like every single game, people try to get up and talk shit and do all that stuff, and then by the time it's the second half, they're just exhausted, and I'm just doing the same thing I've been doing from the first half. So, but no, just like I said, credit to them, and that's not any knock on them either. That's not what I'm doing by any of that, but no, we definitely knew going in that it was gonna be a tough game.
Is that something that developed over 4 years at Purdue, or do you feel like you've always had that? Because I feel like knowing the competitor that you are, my guess is you're like, I've been able to play the full game since middle school. I've never wanted to come out. But also, like we say it a lot, it is a strength to be able to play 40 minutes at the highest level, at your best level, without fading at some point. You certainly are the most durable point guard in the country, it seems like, but do you feel like you've always been that since you've been at Purdue, or have you kind of built the stamina over time?
I think it's been over time. I felt like obviously like middle school and high school, like you're not playing to that level of competition every single night or that intensity and like just all like it's just completely different. Obviously, you're playing against D1 athletes compared to high school kids. So like it's completely different. So I think over time, definitely, because I think my freshman year I was exhausted at the end of the year. Like my legs were just gone, just done for. And I really don't know how I could have changed that or have helped that. And I think it's just obviously part of it because it's different. You play 40 games. It's well, if you make it that far, then for so like it, just having that understanding. Then sophomore year, I thought it was a little bit better. Kind of towards the end of the year, I started to figure out. But I think junior year was really the year like where it kind of flipped. And I was like, and I was always in shape before. It's just like with my legs being heavy and how to play with being exhausted and being tired. So I think it's definitely been a build over, but also like I hate coming out. So like to me, like and I'll have my moments and you'll see like if I start getting two turnovers in a row, then it's like okay, like most likely he's just tired and he's not thinking the right way. So normally that's what it is, but yeah.
I'm laughing inside too because that junior season definitely taught you how to play 40 minutes and not come out. They didn't ever want to bring you out last
Dude.
season.
Yeah, never. Also, I'm crying at the fact that you were kept looking over at the bench because what if Paint actually would have, if Paint would have tried to take you out in this Wisconsin game, would you have actually like maybe at that point be like come on, like 3 more minutes to like to
Yeah.
wait to the media timeout or something like that? I feel like that would have been the correct moment, unless I mean that would have mean you could have broken at Mackey, but I feel like you would have said something to him in that moment.
No, yeah, like I think during that moment, like I wanted to break it there. I wanted it to be done there because then I just felt like so I could focus on just being normal in a sense and not having to chase something that's so close to being achieved. But yeah, no, I actually that game I wanted to come out after I got it. Like I was like, yeah, like I'm good. Like we're up 25 at this point, but then we started to slip away and it started to come back and they cut it to like 11 or 12. So I was like, oh dang, like we actually got to like lock in here and like focus up and win this game, or else it's going to be a mess of a trip home and all that. So, but yeah, no, I think just overall, I kind of wanted to come out in that moment, but at the same time, like I always want to stay in.
Do you think it was something with everybody on your side that, I looked back at the game log of this. You guys set the highest lead, I believe, of the game. You were up 25 when Oscar made the free throw after the n one. And over the next maybe 5 or 6 minutes, they cut it from 25 to 11. And like you said, you, Trey, and Fletch were on the floor for this. It's not like Paint went to the bench up 25, which he certainly could have. Obviously, you've spoken to where your head was at and what that moment was like, thinking you're coming out and almost wanting to come out. Do you think the other guys were also affected by the moment of setting the record? And like, because it kind of looked through the television, no offense to anybody, it kind of looked like all you guys were sort of exhaling after the moment of that. What was your perception of how that affected all you guys?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it was definitely something, and I don't know, like I can't speak for everybody else, but for me, that's what it was. and obviously like that's where I got to be better in those moments. But I think maybe part of it was that, and I think just defensively we were just okay. Like, okay, well we're up 25, almost 30. Like it's okay if we get beat once and they score, and then we'll just take it out and go score. And then we weren't making shots, so I think that just happened multiple times to the point where it piled up, and then they started to come back, and then we had to kind of lock in a little bit.
So there was one specific moment actually involving Wisconsin that I wanted to get your thoughts on. I think I actually saw Boiler Ball Twitter page might have tweeted this moment because y'all had some crazy hustle during this play. TKR ends up on the floor. You guys are all getting hyped. The bench is on the floor because I'm pretty sure there's a timeout. But there was also a moment where it looked like Nick Boyd, I believe it was chewing out Austin Rapp, and I couldn't make out what he was saying, his own teammate in this. You were kind of close to there. Did you hear what he said or see what he said, or like could you give me some insight to what happened in that moment? Because it seemed like you were kind of close to it.
Yeah, no, I didn't hear anything, but I could tell by his body language that like just kind of where it was going, just like that he was pissed. And I was like, yeah, well, Trey, just bust your ass, like just grab that rebound and he's gonna go and he got it. Like he just out hustled four of you standing there. So like I think for us, I think that's kind of like when it flipped too. Like we were like, all right, like yeah, like you guys are done. Like we're gonna push this lead to 25 or whatever. Because like I think that's kind of like when we realized the change and I don't even know, like just everything. Like we're like, okay, like we're here type of thing. Because like I mean, once I mean, I think Clough missed a shot, got a rebound, put it back, missed it. Trey got a put back dunk, missed it, and then grabbed the rebound and dove on the floor for it, and ended up getting us the ball. So I think it was like a huge possession there, and we were all just. I mean, you saw our bench and everybody, so I think that's kind of even Paint. Paint
Yeah.
was screaming, going crazy too. So like I think for that, it was just like one of those moments and just us outworking them.
Yeah, it was cool. Paint like jumping up in the air. It almost seemed like on there's a picture that Boiler Ball put up where he's as excited as anybody on the floor. It's funny. So I want to talk about the post game of this as well because it was a cool look for everybody into the locker room. And the Purdue basketball social team truly does some of the coolest stuff, more unique for any program in the country. I feel like we get more of a look at you guys, and that's probably partially because it's you and Fletch and Trey, and we feel like we know you from afar from watching so many games of you guys. But in this moment, obviously, this is like a very special one of one thing that has just happened. You've set an all-time record that who knows if it will ever be broken again. And the whole world kind of got to see what happened in the locker room after, thanks to your social team. So if you haven't seen the video, you can still find it on Purdue's official men's basketball Twitter account. But basically, Coach Painter is kind of giving a speech and making it seem as if, Braden, you got to lock in. He's really selling this as if he's giving this speech of like, no, seriously, Braden, I think Payne even dropped two F bombs in the middle of this monologue. And then the team just attacks you. They got the Gatorade cooler out with water. Fletch is spraying a water bottle at you. So, in that moment, did you have any sense that something was up?
Honestly, no, because like he was right. Like I thought he was being like 100% serious. Like he was like, Brain, like we gotta lock in, we gotta be better. And I was like, you know what, you're absolutely right. Like I was watching guys literally just like this drive past me, or like guys like just go shoot layups and them scoring or them shooting threes, just watching, not boxing out, doing my job. Like so, like I was like yeah, like yeah, you're right. It's like I was, and I got in there right as I sat in there, like everybody was quiet. Like I didn't look around. Like I kind of just walked with my head down, anyways. But they're all like, yeah, like good game, whatever. So then I sat down, and then like I was wiping my face, and that's when he said, like Braden, you need to lock in and be better. And I was like, damn, you're right. Like I was bad. And then like right as I looked up, I just heard the lid come off. They just got me from there, and then the rest is history. But no, it got me. It actually did. Like I was totally clueless, and good job to paint.
Paint the actor really sold it in that moment. Bray's over there sitting like, damn, you're right. I really do got to watch that guy driving past me. I should have known that on the scouting report, not knowing that celebration. That's hilarious. Uh, so breaking this record, obviously massive deal. Everyone across college basketball is talking about it. I'm sure the phone was blowing up. IG mentions everything associated with that. Was there anyone that hit you up that you would say is like, I don't know, you didn't see coming, or like the coolest person who reached out to you about this record to congratulate you?
I mean, honestly, no. It was just all just people that have been around me and my friends and family. I mean, you could say Zach. but he's obviously been my teammate, so I wouldn't really put that
I would hope Zach was it a call or a text?
text. Yeah.
Was it just a congrats? I feel like he didn't even put punctuation on it.
He just speaks in emoji, right? That's it.
Yeah. I think it was like congrats, bro, or something like that. I don't know.
Classic.
Something like that. But yeah, no. And then obviously like the videos that people made, I thought that was huge. Like Mason, Lance, um, my family, and that meant a lot too. So
We'll see.
Did you see the Tom Izzo video as well?
yep, that as well. Yep.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh yeah. And then family and friends and teammates. So
Yeah.
So I need to know, Braden, were you tough to get to bed as a kid? That's all I gotta ask that because obviously Paint comes on and says, Greg, I feel like you got the actual quote, but something around the facts of you must have been hell to put to bed as a kid. I'm basically calling you a bad kid is what I'm really getting from that. So one, did you see that? Is Paint right too? That's what I really want to know. Was young Braden a tough one to get to bed?
I really don't think so. I think I actually like enjoyed it. Like I think I was just like,
Bad read
yeah,
by Paint.
like let's go. Time for bed, man. Time for bed. But no, listening to that after was hilarious, and I was like, yeah. I mean, I can see it now why people would think that, but no.
Payne was just cracking me up. It's like one of the most softball post game pressers ever. Like, hey, your point guard just set an all-time conference record. How great was that? And he's like, yeah, he must have been hell as a kid. Like, it's just such an interesting look at the unique brain that is Matt Painter. It was cracking me up.
100%.
Yeah. So okay, this is off script, but I'm going to ask this question because I find this really fascinating as we hear your actual mindset through all of this. And um, I doubt you've even thought this far ahead, but let's be real about this. There's also the all-time NCAA assist record that you're chasing down this year too. And I fully believe you. We've had the conversation on the show that, those things are not important. If you get there, great. If not, fine. You have a national championship to win. We know that's the mindset. At the same time, now that you've lived through one of these and you've experienced what it's like in the moment to kind of get over the hump and chase it down, I'm wondering maybe if your perspective not has changed, but I would think maybe it is in the back of your mind that, hey, this might happen in the NCAA tournament. Like, can you imagine what that experience you just went through against Wisconsin in a regular season game at the Kohl Center is like? Like, do you think if, God forbid, you're in like a Sweet 16 game, the Houston game last year, and you're 2 assists away from the all-time NCAA record, like that would be something in terms of gravity of a moment. I don't know if any player in NCAA history has ever had that much going on at once. So, do you think you'll be prepared if, God forbid, that happens? And I guess has your perspective on all of this changed at all now that you've been through it?
I mean, now that you said that and I've actually like had time to like think about it, yeah, kind of. That's kind of crazy because like it kind of did shift a lot of things in the moment, at least like just being out there at the Kohl Center and then obviously getting the record and then obviously we have to finish a basketball game and obviously it's not the magnitude of a March Madness game, but it's still like a pretty high level game. But yeah, no, I mean I think obviously like I want to break it as soon as I can and if it's in March Madness then for me it's like well we got to get the win for it to mean something like right like so I think for me maybe now that I confess for not being locked in for the rest of the game to understand that like okay well if it does happen in March Madness in a game like I gotta lock in and get the job done for that to happen so I think now looking at that just definitely have that understanding and know that that feeling will come and then how to handle it so
For sure. Congrats again on that. Definitely a big time accomplishment. Super cool to watch your journey with everything about that. And yeah, it's still a lot more to go, a lot more assists to be had, I'll say that. But shifting to the Washington game, you guys are back in Mackey. There's no students. This is a question I've always had because I feel like a lot of Big Ten teams talk about the difference because winter break is a thing, right? There's no students there. Probably makes a bigger difference at other places than Purdue, given that it ain't just students in Mackey. But is it like truly like how different is it playing in those games without the students in Mackey?
Yeah, I mean it's a little different. You can definitely feel like a little bit of a vibe change just with like obviously with students there. It's more electric, more like I mean they're a little bit more crazier than parents or families or whatever the case is. But no, I mean at the same time there also really isn't because they still pack it out. They're still like cheering to the max that they can and it's still a loud environment to play in. So really, I mean, there's a little bit of a difference, but I mean, not that big of a difference.
Did you see the Michigan State alumni game was this week and a former player was thrown out? This had me thinking all week. Who's the former Purdue player that would be most likely to say something to an official and be thrown out of Mackey?
Lance,
Lance bar none.
Lance.
That's crazy though, because I think if we asked Lance, he'd be like, "Well, once Braden retires, it'd be or once Braden's done, yeah, it'd be Braden."
No, I think that's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't even know if like if I came back to a game, I'd get to the point where I would say something like that or say
I don't
anything
think
like
anyone should get to
as
the
a
point where
kid.
anyone says anything like that for what it's worth.
Part of
Yeah,
me feels like, I mean, this is years down the line, but like 25 years from now, Zach Edey's back for the first time in 7 years. I could see him being the one, but he's also like a gentle giant too, you know? I
always
don't
the
know.
big guys, man.
It is. It's always the big guys.
Honestly, it could be Trey. Wow, I don't feel like we're sleeping on TKR. He could probably say a few. I mean, it'd be respectful, and honestly, he would be right too, because he's not just gonna say anything for no reason. But I could see TKR getting to somebody a little bit.
I could see Trey also disappearing and just you never hear from him again.
Never to be
That's what he'll
heard.
like joke like that sometimes, like, yeah, like you'll never find me after I'm done. I'm like, all right, Trey, good to see you. Like, all
Love
right,
you too,
man.
man.
Yeah, you
He'll
guys win
joke
a
like,
national championship. They'll make a documentary about it 30 years later, and it'll be the first time we all hear from Trey. Like,
just
that's
pops up
hilarious.
on an interview.
Yeah, right. All right. So Washington game, good performance. You guys, it honestly in a lot of ways felt like the Wisconsin game minus the drama of you setting the record. But you built a huge lead. Washington is by no means a bad team. I think they're a potential NCAA tournament team, and Hannes Steinbach is a pro. Like they've got real talent. Des Claude is a great player, and I think for you guys to be up 20 plus most of that game is pretty damn impressive. And then obviously some of the stuff late seemed to kind of rear its head back just from Wisconsin back into this game too. So just from a starting point, you were phenomenal. Scoring, shooting, everything was, I think, the most aggressive we've seen from you since the Alabama game. You also were doing this through foul trouble and pretty demonstratively before half. Paint was having a conversation with you on the way to the locker room, it looked like. And then Paint did his Big Ten Network hit right before half. And I think they asked him, like, what was Braden saying to you? And he was like, well, I was just telling him he's not starting the second half. So, what exactly was that conversation? Did you see that coming? And what was your interpretation of the foul trouble early for you?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know if I can like get fined or anything for talking about refs, but I'm not gonna say anything first of all. But two, like I talked with them a little bit, and I didn't. I would thought a couple were questionable because I understand the whole like okay you bumped the dude, but my third foul I thought was crazy. The dude's 7 foot 280. You're telling me I bumped him that bad for him to like I'm 5'10", 170, bro. Like come on, dude. Like I understand, okay, but like I get bumped every possession. So if we're gonna call that bump, then I should be fouling people out
Yeah,
in the first half.
no, that makes
So
sense.
like it's like that
Okay,
was just
hold
my
on.
argument.
Wait, hold on, no, Bray. All bumps matter, all right? I gotta stand up for the big man now. You're stronger than you look. You're low center of gravity. Every bump matters. I just gotta say it.
Well, then we'll leave it at that then. But like no, it is what it is again, and understanding like things are gonna happen. And the past two games, I've actually been in foul trouble for both. So for me, I guess I got to stop fouling and being a hack. But other than that, I mean, it's trying to get out there and help Omar because obviously Omar in that position, and then for me, Paint did say he was like, "Well, you're not going to start the second half because obviously anytime you have three fouls, that's just what happens. Like you're not. It happens for everybody, whether it's Trey, Fletch, me, Oscar, whoever it is. Like if you have three fouls, you're not starting that second half. So he was just like, just go talk to Omar and just try to be there for him and get him pumped up, ready to start the second half. And so I got you. I mean, like I understand it. Like I'm not. I'm not dumb and I'm not like, okay, well, why am I not starting like this, that? Like, yeah, no, like I put myself in that position. So my job was just from there to go talk to Omar and just try to help him out and just be like, hey, man, like keep doing what you're doing. You started the first half off great. And you came in and gave us big minutes and just do the same in the second. I said, that's why you're here, bro. Like you can take my spot whenever and you can do what I can do on the basketball floor. So just go be confident, go do that.
So I do want to talk about Omer's game a little bit. He struggled with this shot a little bit, and this one, got comfy, had the 5 points in the first half, had the shots before half. Did you see anything from him in this game that was maybe a little bit different in the style he approached it, or did those second half words of encouragement have that much of effect on him? What did you see from Omer in this game with a little bit more of an opportunity given your foul trouble?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think nothing different has changed. He's always been able to come in and take control of a game like I can, and it's just obviously different because normally it's me and him out there together. So like I think it was different from that perspective. So and it may look different like for people that are watching the game. So, but I mean, for me, I'm just like it's like playing against him and pick up. Like that's just what he does. That's he knows and understands how to get an offense going. He can make plays for himself and make plays for others. So there really was no worry, and I knew that he would be just fine because obviously he's a talented player and we trust him. So
Yeah. I love the shot before half, fade away,
yep.
contested, ends up on the ground, and he hit two threes to go with it. So how much have you seen shots like that from Omer before? It's the entire scout if you watch his FIBA events. Team Israel's putting him out there asking him to take 20 of those a game. In a
Yeah.
Matt Painter offense, you guys don't really love those type of shots. Before half, it's different. He needed to get it off, and he nailed it. So, how much have you seen those types of plays from Omer before? And in a Purdue system, maybe next year, are we going to see more of those?
100%. I mean, I would think so. I mean, I would think that he would have the responsibilities and job that I have now. Because I don't see why not. I mean, we're very similar, and obviously he's making those plays, and people have seen him make those plays when he was on his team before he came here. So I think just, I mean, for me, like, I mean, he works out with me every single day, and we do the same mid-range stuff. So he shoots the same shots that I shoot. So I've seen it plenty of times, and obviously we're comfortable with him taking those shots.
You guys ever run like a little shooting competition or something in practice? I'd be interested to know who's winning the shooting contest that happened.
No, we never really have. But I mean, the only time we really compete is just in the summer, just playing pickup, just guarding each other. But I mean, other than that, not really any shooting.
That seems crazy to me. I can't believe Fletcher Lawyer has not ever dragged you guys into a shooting competition.
No.
Is that out of fear?
I feel like Fletch is too good of a shooter to do shooting
Is
contests.
that
I
is
feel like
that Fletch being like
he
I
thinks it's
can't
beneath
root?
him.
I feel like Fletch might be fearful he ruins his reputation shooting against Braden and Omer.
We might get him.
Hey,
Might get him.
I'd be willing to see it.
All right.
So I want to shift to the big men a little bit here. TKR with 14, 14, and then 6 assists. One less assist than you. Kind of dipping his toes into your pool a little bit. One, I want to know, was TKR trying to pull a U right now? Was he trying to get his triple double in before you in this game? What did you see from TKR? Because he really filled up the stat sheet in this game while doing, the rebounding thing that he's done this whole season.
Yeah, no, I said something to him when he came out. At one point, I don't remember exactly when it was, but I said something to him. I was like, "Dang, dude, like you're online for triple double." I was like, "That'd be crazy if you got it for me." He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get it." He's like, "I'm gonna beat you." I was like, "All right, like I hope you do, man. Like, pass me the ball, I'll shoot it, like that type of thing."
Pass it to me. I'll make sure it goes in. I got you.
But no, it's all jokes, and I'll obviously give him a hard time, and he gives me hard times all the time. But no, I mean he's doing what he thinks he should, and that's what leads to winning basketball. And he's been rebounding unbelievably this year, and has been doing a great job scoring, obviously, and obviously he can pass the ball. So I think for us, it's just him just playing his game.
Hannes Steinbach, I talked about him at the very beginning of this segment. He's a pro. I think he's going to be a lottery pick or around there. Played against Daniel in the FIBA event in the summer. I know those two are familiar with each other, and he's just had an awesome season to this point for Washington. He's a great rebounder, one of the best in the country. He had 0 rebounds until there were 4 minutes left in this game. TKR had 14. Oscar was banging with him the entire game. So what does that say about your bigs? And I guess really to me it's kind of a statement from Trey to have a player who is a surefire NBA guy and just keep him completely off the glass. I mean, that's something that 100% we had not seen last year. And new Trey's doing that, it seems like all the time. But was that a statement performance with a pro facing him on the other side?
I would say so, and I think kind of what I've talked about before is like when you go against competition like that, and that's kind of your matchup and your comparison in a sense for that game, like why not go out there and try to absolutely dominate your opponent? Like, so I think like that's how I am. Like if I'm playing against whoever it is that's supposedly better or an NBA talent or whatever, then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go show why I can prove that I can play in the same type of game that this guy can. And I think that was kind of what Trey was doing. And not that he doesn't every single night because he's been so consistent with rebounding and scoring, and obviously he can pass the basketball. So I think that was just probably just one of those nights for him. Is that like, all right, like okay, like you have an actual challenge tonight, like see who's gonna go out and out compete who.
Well, he for sure made a statement in that basketball game. The rebound has been incredible, but also I feel like last year he was doing so much passing stuff and filling up the stat sheet. Hasn't necessarily done as much this year, but it was kind of felt like a little bit of a tap into last year the way he filled up the stat sheet while also just maintaining that very high rebound rate. He really for sure made a statement against a guy like Greg said, who's going to be very probably highly picked when the NBA draft time does come around. Another episode of Running Point, another game for Purdue where Jack Benter has not missed. Is he aware that he has not missed? And I don't even know how long. Is it 3 games now, Greg, that he hasn't
I
missed?
think it's longer. Let's pull this up just to make it clear. I'm kind of, is this a talking point? Has anyone within the walls noticed that Jack hasn't missed in forever?
I don't think so. I think it's more like an expectation because he's such a good shooter. So I think
It's
we're
a
all just
crazy expectation, 100%. Someone needs to get
yeah.
send Jax here and let him know that he has not missed, and I'm pretty sure 4 or 5 games.
I think he knows.
Oh, he knows. He's just
I
Got to.
believe this guy's made 13 straight shots. It might be more depending on what the last shot of the Marquette game was, but 4 consecutive games going back to the Auburn game, he's made 13 shots, hasn't missed. Now, some of those are like dunks, and he,
Wasn't that last play in Marquette the dunk that Omar threw him?
yeah, I think so, right?
Because
Yeah.
he had
yeah.
the Omar had the fast break and he dumped it back to Jack.
Yeah, so 14 straight at minimum, maybe 15.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, I believe 9 of these are three-point attempts.
can
He's
shoot,
made
man.
he's made 10 straight threes.
Yeah,
You're just
Well,
like,
Jack,
yeah, this is what he does.
yeah. Shoots the crap out of it every single day. I mean, my dad coached him in AAU. It's like I was around him in the high school times. So like I know his game. I mean, he was scoring 50 in high school, like breaking backboards, dunking on people. Like obviously, like we knew or I know that he's a good player. He's capable of it, and obviously, like I think it hurts him a little bit too, because like I mean, we're so like good at his position. Like it's tough to put him at the three because you got Fletch, Jakari, CJ there, Omer, and then it's tough to put him at the four because you got Trey.
mm.
So, so I think that kind of limits it a little bit. But I mean, he can hoop, man.
Bencher's probably, whispering under his breath as he walks by, like, "Damn, coach, I ain't missing 5 games. Let me go ahead and get let me go ahead and get in real quick." If I had missing 5 games, I'd be walking with a little bit of a different bounce in my step. To the result of this game, it's another game where y'all got out to a lead. You led by 22, and then they cut it all the way to 8. Obviously you talked about the Wisconsin game after the Clough and one. Wisconsin cuts that lead again. What is it about that, or is it just other teams just kind of battling? Is it how the game just goes? Like, is this obviously this isn't a trend you want to kind of start. It's just kind of a random result. What is it that goes into these teams kind of cutting into when you guys have these big leads?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's probably just us, just lack of concentration stuff. Um, I think that's just the main thing, and that's what I felt I've noticed. And obviously, I feel like the Wisconsin game is that's self-explanatory of why I wasn't locked in, and that's my reason of why I wasn't. Um, but I think this game, it's probably just similar things, just thinking that like, okay, well, we're good, we're up 25, we can let off the gas and kind of just go do what we want and kind of make it in a sense a pickup game. And I think that kind of hurts us. And I think now that it's happened twice, we've talked about it and have an understanding that like guys, we can't let this happen because like that's ways that you can get beat and ways that can hurt us down the road. So I think for us it's just having that understanding and kind of just going from here on out and be like, all right, guys, like when we're up 25, like let's get it to 35, 40 and then put it away. So
Aaron Fine hasn't told you how pissed he is yet. If I'm Aaron Fine, I'm all over you.
he hasn't said nothing to me yet.
I
No.
mean, I'm coming straight to you and Trey and saying, "Dog, where are my minutes? Are you kidding me? This little stretch with 8 minutes left, come on, you're robbing me of 180 seconds at the end of the games. It's crazy. There you go, Aaron. That's on your behalf. I'm telling you right now. You were great offensively in this game. At least, I mean, scoring wise, passing wise too. Obviously, the foul trouble, but the turnover bug bit you and Trey a little bit. 12 total. I think that's got to be a combined high for you two, probably in your
Yeah.
careers. Was it anything that Washington did specifically that got to you guys both on that defensively, or just slop?
I think just being sloppy. I mean, I don't think truly anybody can kind of force that unless it's on us. And I think that's kind of what happened. Like I think Trey got sloppy on a couple plays and just let people steal it from him, and that's what happened to me. Like I'm dribbling off my foot or losing the basketball on some simple stuff. So I feel like I got sloppy as well. And I feel like if you take away those, then it's a completely different conversation.
Scoring wise, like I said, this was a different version of you than the Bama game. And obviously, there were reasons. I think we talked about schematically with Bama, like you came out to hunt a little bit. I do find it maybe a little funny to me personally. The game after setting the assist record, you came right out like, let me get my 20. Was there any intentionality to this? 23 points on 15 shots. You were just awesome scoring in this game.
Yeah, no, I mean there was obviously no intention of that. I just think it's funny these days. I get in the 20s and it's just like a whole parade. Like I wasn't doing that all last year or years before that. Like it's just like, oh, Braden forgot how to score. It's like, nah, man, like we're just really good and I don't need to. Like there's no reason to go out and do those things unless it's necessary. And I think for me, obviously, is making the right reads every single time. So whether that's me coming off and scoring and shooting the basketball or if it's me passing. And I just felt like this year it's been a lot of passing. I feel like I've seen a lot more like doubles and stuff coming off ball screens. So I think for me, like my job is I got two guys on me is to pass it. So that's just what I felt and trying to get people the ball and they're open. And obviously I think the record obviously has something to do with a little bit of it. Like there's some shots I could have shot but passed up, but no, it's just crazy. Everybody forgot I can score, man.
I'm
It's
about
crazy.
to get real disrespectful here, and I don't mean to be to Big Ten Network or whoever I think it was Big Ten for this game. I was listening to the broadcast of this, and by the way, shout out to them because they alluded to the pod. They talked about your favorite assists, and that was something from the last episode. So go ahead, you can say the running point pod with Braden Smith next time. Go ahead and name it on the broadcast. Just saying, but. I forget who the announcer was. It was whoever the color commentary guy was. He said, paraphrasing, and I quote, if I'm designing a game plan to beat Purdue, I am focused on making Braden Smith score. I'm assuming you've heard that before. Obviously, you are the greatest passer in Big Ten history, potentially NCAA history. That makes sense on paper slightly. What do you say to anyone who would say the way to beat Purdue is make Braden Smith beat you offensively?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I say this in the most respectful way possible, but that's probably why he's not a coach a little bit. Like, I think that's no offense. I don't know who said it. I didn't even see that, so that kind of shocks me that you're saying that, but I think that's kind of dumb to say because, like, I have proven, I think, in multiple occasions that I can go out and give you 30 when I need to, and I don't know. I just think that's funny, but no, I don't have a say really other than that, and just glad we don't play him twice here and get two easy wins, I guess.
I don't mean to stir the pot either, but I found it hilarious as you're going for 23. You missed five shots all night. And yeah, that was his great idea. I think you had 11 points midway through the first half as he was saying this on the broadcast. I was dying at it.
Yeah, probably pretty smart of him, huh?
If he was the coach, he would have came in the locker room even after the loss, talking about, you know what, that's what we wanted, fellas.
Yeah.
That's exactly way to execute the game plan, hang the banner. We didn't lose by as much as I thought we should have. Last thing on this Washington game, after the game, Paint was talking about Purdue huddles, obviously. Said Fletch has free reign, smart players do, but you can't empower fools. So I need to know, as far as the Purdue huddles, who is allowed to talk and who isn't allowed to talk. I might need a list.
No, I don't think we actually have like a can and can't or do not do list here, but I think it's really just everybody, to be honest. Like obviously our team, I think as a whole, like naturally we're all pretty quiet people. And
Mhm.
like that's not like we do like we take an assessment. I think I've talked about it maybe before, but like it's like your natural like style of who you are as a person compared to your competitive style. It's like we're like it's like two different people of you, like who you are as a person when you are just doing your own thing, like your natural day, and then who you are on the basketball court. And a lot of us are all very like just quiet, calm, just normal people that just mind their own business and enjoy being alone and don't talk a whole lot and that kind of stuff. So honestly, there's not a lot of people I think that would even say a whole lot in there.
Mhm.
But I think like people that have, I mean, I think Trey will say stuff every once in a while. He doesn't a whole lot. I really don't even a whole lot. I mean, I'll say stuff to like PJ offensively. Like if I see something like we ran, I think the same play 4 times in a row yesterday and we scored on each one. Like I hit that baseline fade, I threw that lob to Daniel. I remember what else happened. I came off in something else. I think I hit Daniel again or someone again. I hit somebody again, and I was just like, Let's go. Like keep running it back. They're not stopping it," type of thing. But no, I think it really anybody if they have something or see something, they say stuff. So
Follow up to that, who's the one player on your team that if they spoke up in the huddle, everyone would look like, wait, who just talked? Like, who's the least likely to say something in the huddle?
probably Daniel. He's just
See,
quiet. He's just quiet, dude.
all right, add it to the list. All right, haircut, forearm tat, say something in the huddle.
There
And
we
then you'll
go.
have first team
There
All
we go.
Big Ten Jacobson. We'll just check it
Yep.
off the list. I'm keeping track.
Or Clough, because he is quiet. Like he got that flagrant or whatever. Like
Yeah.
he's like, I only boxed him out, mate. Like, just gonna go hit him. Yeah, I love Clough. Like he's like the one guy. Like I even said it to Fletch. Like Clough that doesn't even know I said this, but like I was like I really like the dude. Like he's just like doesn't say a word. Like just all smiles. Like we could lose by 40, and it's just like like darn, Mike. Like get him next time, and that's it. It's just like the funniest thing. Like, and I'm just like, dude, like has no emotion, just literally just goes about his day and just plays basketball and goes home. So, but no, I would say probably him or Daniel would be the two that I would even probably like, whoa,
Oh.
yeah,
It's got a 7 foot Australian robot that just rebounds, and that's it. What a leg.
Kindness and rebounds, the Oscar Club story.
It's
Hey, but then
amazing.
when we're on Warzone, it's a totally different dude.
Yeah.
I
That's
was
where it
with him for
locks
the
in.
last like 2.5 hours, and it was a totally different dude.
Lock it
Can
in.
we, who's now along these lines, who would be the next good player guest? Who could we get on this show? Like, would Oscar do this?
Oh yeah, I think he would. Yeah, I think everybody would, to be honest.
Honestly, I think first of all, yes, they would too. Also, like Oscar, I feel like wouldn't say no to you, Braden. Like I feel
Yeah.
like you could test. I feel like you could. Like if he says no to you, I think he would be heartbroken. Like he wouldn't want to let you down. So he for sure.
I mean, I would assume he'd say yeah. I mean, I think everybody would be completely cool with doing it. Some of the guys have already said that they've wanted to do it, and I just obviously we've haven't talked about it, but we can definitely get somebody here soon. That'd be awesome.
All right, we'll keep it coming. We'll keep it a surprise for now, but that Australian accent for an hour would be a fun get for sure.
Easy.
Okay, before we wrap the show, we do have some questions from Twitter followers that we will close with. Before that, we're 4 games into Big Ten play, looking like a great season, obviously for you guys. There's also some pretty stiff competition, I would say. Nebraska, undefeated. They're rolling right now. Huge statement wins over Michigan State and Illinois. Michigan survived on the road at Penn State this week. They remain undefeated. And I mean, like I said, Michigan State and Illinois have been doing their thing as well. They're very much in the mix. So, um, there was a John Rothstein tweet that got my attention this week as someone who follows this conference, and I'm kind of curious on the player perspective of this. He basically, paraphrasing, tweeted that the West Coast schools will never win the Big Ten because the travel is too much to overcome. When you think about how often they're coming to the Midwest and East Coast, it's just to do that 10 times a year instead of, one weekend out west. It's like the odds are against them. There's no way. Washington just came to Mackey for, I believe, the first time in school history. And, they were down 20 for the first time this season before they could blink. UCLA's been up and down. Obviously, this stuff is team specific. UCLA was really good last year, but I guess with these schools, when you started as a freshman, they weren't even in the league. Now here they are. You've done the travel and you've seen what it does to them when they come to Mackey. Is John Rothstein onto something about how difficult it is for these West Coast schools to come to the East Coast so often and play teams that are traditionally from the Big Ten?
I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that only because like what about the NBA guys? Like they're traveling almost every single night. Like they're doing that. Obviously, like not the distances that they're doing it, but they're still traveling. Like it still takes a toll. But I mean, I don't think it's to the point where, I mean, again, also like I wouldn't know. Like I wouldn't know what it's like, flying from UCLA to Purdue to play a game, and then next week you're going to Illinois again, and or whatever the case is. Like obviously, like, I haven't been in that position, but I think for me, like it's, I mean, and you get enough time to like where you're there for a day or two before you play. So it's not like, okay, well, you're getting there that morning, you got to play that night, you're going to be exhausted. Like you still have time to like, you know what I'm saying? Like just chill out and kind of acclimate to being in a different time zone if that's the case, or being somewhere new. And I mean, I don't, it could be, it could not be. I mean, I don't know.
Mm, makes sense. What's your I know you watch when you can, but from what you've seen so far of like Big Ten basketball, obviously it's gonna be a grind. Looks a lot of good teams right now. Nebraska's having quite the run. They're undefeated. Michigan's obviously top in the country, undefeated. MSU's playing well. Illinois is starting to get it going. Uh just talk about like what you've seen from this league thus far. Obviously, this is your fourth time go around it, and the grind that is Big Ten conference play.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think obviously like the teams you just said, they're all very talented, and obviously it's going to be a fight for who can win it all. But I think for us, it's like, I don't know, being a part of this and seeing it, at least in my 4 years, I feel like it's the most maybe talented it's been. And I feel like it's going to be the most difficult for us to win and to do those things. But at the same time, I think that's what makes it fun is going out and competing. Like you're not really going to have a night where it's going to be a tough or you're going to win by 45 plus or whatever the case is. Like I think those games are always fun to be a part of. And obviously like this year, like we have a bunch of big games and when we go like for example, we go to Nebraska, like we host Michigan State and Michigan. It's like those are obviously two big games, and obviously IU, that rivalry we have to play there and here and get two wins there. So I think for us it's just, I don't know, just taking one game at a time and understanding that each team in this conference is capable of winning and beating us. But at the same time that just, I don't know, just having that understanding that well it's gonna be tough to beat us as well.
Carr mentioned Michigan. I'm watching that team very closely, obviously. They were on the road against Penn State earlier this week, and I think they were 22 or 23-point favorites, something crazy. One possession game. Freddie DeLeon had a step back three to win it at the buzzer. I think a lot of people sort of freaked out at that result one way or the other, of like, oh, Michigan can't be as good as advertised. They almost lost to Penn State, or I don't know, just even fans overreacting to like, how is this happening? From my perspective as a fan, as someone who's watched this league for 15 years, that's Big Ten play. Like there are no easy outs. I don't care if you're at the Bryce Jordan Center, at the Palestra, if you're at the Rat. Like this is a league where anyone can get got any given night if you don't bring your best stuff. Am I crazy for that outlook? And I'm assuming you didn't watch the Michigan game, but you've certainly been in the spot of being the hunted against some lower level teams in the league. What is that like? And should fans be freaking out if you're in a one possession game with a team you're supposed to beat by 20?
I mean, no, I think like obviously I've been in a lot of positions in my 4 years of people overreacting over nothing, such as an exhibition game or anything else along those lines. Like for me, I'm like, guys, like yeah, you're gonna have off nights. You're gonna have nights that are gonna be ugly. You're gonna have nights where you should have beat the team by 65, but you only won by two. Like it's gonna happen. Like and especially in the Big Ten. And I know a lot of people say, oh well, it's a weak conference, this and whatever and all that. But I mean, at the end of the day, like there's a lot of good teams in it, and even like the not so good teams, like they're still capable of beating you on your bad night. And I think like for Michigan's case, like. I mean, they could have messed around and got beat, but I mean, at the end of the day, they were good enough to get it done and get a win. And I think that's what you kind of just be excited about. And obviously, you can look back and watch the film. And obviously, I don't know what they're doing, but like what we would do is be like, okay, well, where did we mess up? Where did we not come fully prepared? Like, where are those spots that we need to be better at? And I think that's just probably one of those things for them. Like, I mean, it's also like no offense to Penn State, but being there and playing in their arena it sucks. Like it was just dead. Like
Is it
it
just is
was
it?
terrible.
It sounds quiet on. Is it really just empty in there?
Yeah, it's empty. But like last year, like we went and played there and they beat us by 35.
Yeah.
So like going to places like that, like it's just like a total different vibe. Like you're like, okay, well for us, like our home game, it's always packed, loud, like crazy. And then you go play in an environment where there's you can hear each other talk on the floor,
Yeah.
like loud consistently. So like and that's obviously like I'm not like dissing Penn State and all that. That's not what I'm saying. But like just like that's like what I noticed like being there. Like even like my when was that sophomore year? I think sophomore when we played at Maryland. It was during the Christmas break and they didn't have students. Like that for me, I remembered at the time. It was like, well, that's a totally different change. Like, because I remember my freshman year, we lost there and we got court rushed,
Hmm.
and like that was like to this day, like that I tell everybody they always ask like, what's my favorite environment? I always say Maryland. Like that was awesome to be a part of, and obviously like we lost, so like doesn't have a great taste in our mouth. But I mean, at the same time, like just being in that environment and playing in front of a crowd like that, it was fun to be a part of. But no, I think people just like to overreact just because people like to stat watch and people like to be like, oh well, the spread says this, so it has to be that. But like, I think at the end of the day, when you're in Big Ten, when you're playing in the Big Ten, it's like a win's a win.
Yeah.
No matter how you get that done, just get the win. It's like March Madness. Like, doesn't matter how you win as long as you get the win. Because
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
Yeah, 100%. Agree with you. Agree that also I want to let you know that we made a change to Sleepers Media Company guidelines. We won't be doing any exhibition reactions moving forward. We realized we were spearheading that movement, and Greg and I talked about it. No more exhibition reactions. I can
Yeah,
promise
wait,
you.
hand up. We did rank Kentucky number one in our
Yeah,
personal poll after that exhibition went. Hand up. I'm sorry.
we already did
Always
hand up
happens.
on
Always
that.
I'm
happens.
just
Always
just saying.
happens.
Just saying.
Overreacting so fun. You ever tried it, Braden?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. Just a dab. Something it can be. You can do it overkill, but every now and then it's fun to overreact a little bit. Uh,
100%.
I need you to settle a debate that was going on in our Discord. So the last two champions went 17-3, obviously to win the Big Ten. Do you is there like a realistic number you think to win the league this year? Obviously, you mentioned the talent, you mentioned the amount of teams. It, you know, Greg, I don't even know if you want to chime in on this one.
I do.
It doesn't feel like a year when the champion's gonna go 17-3. Not, not everyone can do it. I think who did it last year?
Michigan State did it last year. Braden did it the year before. So I've been
Two
fighting.
guys on this pod that have done it. Just throwing it out
I
there.
have been fighting people this week because I feel like people are forgetting how hard Big Ten play is. And I'm glad you just sort of spoke to it because it's just hard. The best teams that I've watched in this league for 20 years of my life don't go 19-1 in a 20 game Big Ten schedule. Like that's not to say you guys couldn't go 20-0. Michigan couldn't go 20-0. Michigan, who I don't care. Name a team. Of course, you can win any game any given night. But 20 games is crazy. It's a grind. There are too many good teams in this league. It is just highly likely that whoever wins this league is going to get got a couple times along the way. And I've been pointing out to people, I think even using last year's champ Michigan State as an example, and maybe even you guys 2 years ago, you won 17 out of 20 games, and there were a handful of close games that could have gone the other way as well in those 17. So, I don't want to say that there needs to be a golden number. I don't think there is because, like you said, the top 4 or 5 teams in this league look as strong as I've seen them in 15 years. But with that being said, I think there's a lot of fans who are almost demanding, like, we need to go 19-1, 18-2 in this league to win this league this year. I don't know that that's how I feel as someone who's observing it. So, as a player in this league that's on one of the absolute contenders in this league, what are your thoughts on sort of what's the mark in order to get where you want to get this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think first thing is that like listening to like what fans have to say that like haven't been through it and have no idea. Like if you watch basketball and you understand basketball and you've like watched the Big Ten, you understand how games are played, you have a general understanding, then you know. Like you're not gonna say something like, oh well, you have to get 16 plus wins to win the whole thing or anything like that because I think once you're actually in the Big Ten and for me playing in it the last 4 years, like it truly is like it's difficult. Like not like there's sometimes like even for me, I'll catch myself sometimes like, all right, well you got to go play at 9 p.m. at wherever on a Tuesday night, like it's easy for fans to say that because they just got to go up there and pay for popcorn and a twisted tea and sit down and watch. Like it's hard to like, okay, well you got to sit there the entire day, wait till 9 p.m. to play a basketball game, and wherever you want to play,
Hmm.
you can fill in the blank of your team. Like and if it's not like a high amped up game, like if it's a Purdue Michigan, yeah, of course both teams are gonna be amped up to play that game, like because it's a highly anticipated game and the importance of that game is gonna be obviously really important. But like I think for us, like maybe that was part of like this past game, like understanding that okay, like Washington isn't necessarily one of the top teams, like it could be easier for us. It's an 8:30 game, 8:30 tip off, like it's gonna be a late one, like maybe we don't have to go as hard or play as hard to close out the game, and we almost fell victim to that, and we only won by 8. So I think just understanding that is just the main piece of it. But no, I don't think there's actually a number. I think for us, what we've always tried to do is that like the games that we're supposed to win and that like are like on paper, like Purdue's supposed to win this game no matter what, is to try not to lose those. Like that's like us, like is to be like, okay, well, we have to get those and obviously go undefeated at home. That's our goals. So we're like, okay, well, we're a Michigan. Yeah, that could go either way. Michigan State, yeah, that can go either way. Obviously, me, I want to win, but you know what I'm saying. But like, if you play versus like for example, like a Rutgers or somebody that's like lower, and you're not supposed to lose that game, like you got to understand like the importance of that and going out and approaching it like it's a game versus somebody that's could beat you. So yeah, no, that's just the thing I would say, and I think it's a lot more difficult than people think, and people obviously don't truly understand what it's like to play at this level and in a conference like this, and that's why they're sitting there with a fake username and all that, and so that's why they're doing that, and we're playing, but yeah, that's what I would say about that.
Shout out to Paul Davis, by the way, the twisted T shout.
Paul Davis,
I just that's just all I remember.
Paul Davis was off the water tonight. I actually saw him in the end zone and he had a water, so he was good to go tonight. But we also didn't win by 40, so someone get Paul Davis a twisted T.
Please. Okay. Thank you for all the insight. I appreciate it. I feel like I'm sane again listening to someone in this league confirm some of my suspicions on this. It's going to be a fun Big Ten season. We'll have plenty more on this very program as the season progresses. 2 questions from Twitter before we close the show today. We start with one from Daniel Kral, who says, current college basketball player that you would most like to jersey swap with.
Hmm. It's honestly a good question because like there's obviously a crap ton. Um, I don't even really know to be honest. Like I was thinking about it, and I actually saw it on my Twitter. Obviously because I get tagged in all of it, so I've read most of the comments, but I was trying to think of it, and like I don't really know if there would be one. Like there's just so many people, or not that there would be one, that there would be hard to pick one.
I don't know if we can accept that answer, Braden.
We're not letting you
Yeah.
get off this Zoom until you pick
I
some.
personally will sit on the Zoom for an hour until you give me a name.
Um,
Are there any jerseys that you like across the country? Maybe we could just pick a player from a jersey you like.
I mean, I like UCLA's obviously because those are just like that's self-explanatory. I mean, can I pick my teammates? TKR
Now,
jersey
about
swap.
TKR, first of all, TKR would say no, so you can't pick
He probably
TKR.
would. He probably would.
Gotta be non-Purdue.
I would maybe say Donovan Dent,
Yeah.
or Bennett starts because I was with him at camp this summer and he's a good dude. I like being around him. He's a cool dude and obviously he's a good player as well. Um, but Donovan's a good dude. I mean, Isaiah Evans, Duke. Um,
If you did a jersey swap with Bennett Sturts, the amount of it'd be a white boy summer for sure. The amount of people that would frame that photo, it'd be hanging in every fraternity across the country.
Oh,
Greg, you know it too. Are you
oh my goodness.
that thing would there'd be flags in dorm rooms of that photo everywhere.
This is true. I mean, I would be one of the people with flags in the dorm room. You have Bennett next week, by the way. The next time we get
Yep.
together on this program, it will be after the Purdue Iowa game. So I know you've mentioned a couple times on the show that you did do the Chris Paul camp with Bennett this summer, and you guys got to work out together a little bit. What are you expecting from that matchup with him?
Yeah, no, I mean, I watched their game versus Minnesota, and obviously that was a close game. But I mean, just seeing the end and how they play as a team, obviously they're tough and they play hard, and obviously Bennett's an unbelievable talent. So going into that game, we're gonna have to be locked in and just ready to play, I would say. I mean, I feel like it's self-explanatory with who he is as a player and how good their team is.
I see what you did here, Gregory. You left me the food question, acting like I was gonna ask it. That's crazy. I see what you're doing. You're not slick. What's the best thing Painter has either smoked or grilled for the team?
He just does a lot of burgers and hot dogs, just simple
You
stuff.
know, nothing fancy. No wagyu or something. Some a little
No,
steak on the grill.
not that I've been around. He caters a lot and has like chefs that make stuff, or he'll cater stuff and bring it in, like when we do team dinners, or his wife Sherry, she actually makes unbelievable tacos.
Mm.
Her tacos are really good.
Yeah, that
Um,
little like backyard or like gazebo setup, whatever Paint has at his house, the one you had Edie's draft party at. I feel like he throws on, the open toe sandals on there. And I thought he was throwing some steaks on the grill, but I guess it's just burgers and hot dogs, keeping it simple.
See, I heard he has, but I've never been a part of that yet.
Yeah. I mean, what do you got to do to get a steak?
I know. I gotta talk to him about that. But no, he's definitely the the sandals is definitely yeah, and obviously I mean I've heard. I mean our strength coach Cabo, Jason Cabo, he always says that he's big with smoke and stuff and doing all that, but he also does tacos and we've been at his place a couple times, did taco night, but yeah, I gotta go to those two guys' place to have steak and see how it is.
Speaking of white boy summer, is Jack ready for his role this summer?
Jack
Yeah.
who?
Well, just not just white boy summer, but you mentioned the Edie draft party. If my memory serves me correctly from the pictures of Zach Edey's draft party, Cam Heidi put on a clinic, board shorts. So I'm just envisioning a Braden Smith draft party this summer. I'd like to think that Carter and I are there. Who's to say? And I think I need something from my guy JB in that moment.
You'll definitely see something. I actually just saw a video in our team chat that he's rocking his LV shades, so he'll bring something for sure, and I have faith in him. So
That man hasn't missed a shot in 5 games, and now he's Louis V. Don. You know what? I love NIL and college basketball so much now. It's amazing. It's
Great
awesome.
era. Let's close the show as we always do. Cart, do you have a question for him?
Oh yeah, easy. Braden, can you cook?
yeah, I actually I used to do burgers and stuff on the grill all the time. I feel like I'm pretty good at that, but I actually just cooked my first two steaks with my girlfriend last week and did that for the first time. So I thought it turned out pretty well. I thought I did a pretty good job.
I didn't know Braden was in the kitchen or not. Do you have a go-to? I know you mentioned burgers and stuff. Is there like a go-to that you throw on?
No. No, I'm one of those guys. I'd rather just go out and pick it up or buy it. Like by the time I get home, I'm like, I don't want to cook nothing. Like I'm exhausted. I just had a 3 hour practice. I lifted for 30 minutes before that. Like it's been a long day. Like I'm good. Like let me DoorDash something real quick.
It's pretty
This
good.
is a very food-oriented episode because my question is this. I need you to give us your off-season, not in season, of course, off-season, fast food place of preference, and what's the order at the fast food place of preference?
Chick-fil-A, 12 count nugget, large fry. The drink could vary. Sometimes we could like depends on the day. Like if it's a hot day, we could go a large water, big sweet tea guy,
Mm.
Mm.
large sweet tea, or I could go a cherry coke.
Ooh.
Mm. Damn, I love
But then
cherry.
also I'll either do an 8 count with it to do 20 nuggets, or I'll do a sandwich.
Yeah, you're a ball knower. Okay, I was waiting for that because whenever someone gets a 12 nugget, it's got to be something to go with the 12 nugget. You know,
Yeah,
it's sandwich with 12 nuggets or round up all the way up and get to 20. That makes
yeah,
you feel more secure.
100%. So it's just finding that balance.
You
But
know,
I'm
but
actually I'm a big fast food guy, so
I'm so proud of my point guard. Also, I always have this in my head. Giannis, after the Bucks won the title, had the big Chick-fil-A. He went to the drive-through the next morning,
yep.
ordered the Giannis drink, lemonade mixed with Sprite. So I am envisioning a world in Indianapolis. Things go the way we all want them to go. Maybe we find our way to an Indianapolis Chick-fil-A drive-through on the way
That'll
out.
be big time.
Yeah, that'd be
That'll be
special.
big time. Didn't he do something else with like someone else with he scored like 50 points and he asked for like a 50-piece nugget?
yeah,
Yeah.
Was
but
that
yeah,
McDonald's or was that Chick-fil-A?
that was Chick-fil-A. Yeah,
Okay, it
wasn't it,
was
it
Chick-fil-A.
was like he scored like 56 too. So he's like, "Can I
Yeah.
get 56 nuggets?" They're like, "What?"
Yeah, it was something like that. So I remember seeing something like that, but I didn't know which place it was. But yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay. Very generous with your time as always, Braden. We thank you. I know Cart said this earlier in the episode, but on a serious note, I feel like I've seen everybody congratulate you except for us. And I'm just really proud of you and I'm really happy for you, man. I think covering your career has been extremely fun. I'd be an enormous fan of you, even if we didn't have this personal side to it. But being able to sort of have these conversations with you as you go along this journey is probably the coolest thing that's happened to my professional career. So I appreciate you opening the door to us. This was awesome as far as this week went, and there's plenty more to look forward to this season. Floor is yours to close the show.
I mean, thank you guys. Obviously if you wouldn't have talked shit the first time, we probably wouldn't be in this position. But no, gotta give you a hard time. You know how it is.
We
But
did.
but
I mean,
no.
we did it. It was us. Clear as day in 4K. Hand up. That was us.
100%, 100%. But no, but thank you guys again. Always you guys take the time and do this, and obviously we can joke around and have a good time and just talk basketball. So it means a lot, and I appreciate you guys and looking forward to the next one.
We'll be back next week.